The conflict funnel. The longer that you stay in a conflict funnel, the less options that you have. All right. So initially, the first thing is awareness. I want to be aware of what's going on around me all the time. Now, the problem is if I'm constantly switched on and I'm constantly assessing for threats, then my cortisol is going to be quite high all the time. That's going to leave me very, very stressed. It's going to make me short-tempered. It's going to affect my ability to learn. It's going to affect my ability to digest, to relax, to form effective relationships, all of these things. So I need to make sure that I have somewhere where I'm not really aware of what's going on, that I have a bed and, a safe place and a room that I can lock and that kind of thing, that I can maintain safety. And my goal then is always going to be to get back to that space. But that's kind of a necessity rather than like my goal in life is not to get back to my bed. Okay. My goal is to go out and achieve and do whatever it is I want to do, and then to come back there to be safe. So when I'm out doing whatever it is I need to do, I need to be aware of what's going on around me. I need to be aware of the situation, the environment, the time of day, my clothing, my ability to navigate that environment, my mental state, who's around, what are the opportunities, threats, strengths, and weaknesses. Okay. So I want to keep my lines to exit and all that kind of thing. Then once we're aware that we're in the presence of predators in whatever form they may take, I want to be as hard a target as possible. In doing so, basically what I want to do is convince you that I am not your prey. And if you're the kind of person that would prey on the likes of me, then I want to stay away from you. Or I want to convince you that this ain't a victim, sunshine. You're going to fucking get something that you come after me. So that's a really big deal. Hard targeting is tricky, and it does depend on many, many, many factors, as all of this stuff does. So once we've bypassed that, now we've gone into direct conflict. Okay, now in the event of direct conflict, I'm hopefully going to see it coming. There's going to be a verbal exchange and an approach. I want to make sure that I set my boundaries, and I want to hopefully use verbal jujitsu to talk my way out of the situation, to de-escalate the conflict. In whatever way that it can be. In general, I suggest going under, which is like apologizing, even though you don't give a shit. Trying to talk the way through. It's not me that you're angry with, it's the situation. But of course, if I say that, you get more angry. So I try and understand what it is that you're verbally committing to here, and try and monitor that and try and engage with that and try and help you to solve that problem, whereby I become your friend rather than, the person that you're angry with. While that's all going on, I'm looking at my boundaries, I'm looking at my triggers, I'm looking at my fences, and I'm aligning my weapons. Okay, so I'm going to put myself, I'm going to transition to the best position that I possibly can, where I'm tactically aligned for preemptive striking. So I want to set myself up so if I have to, if this has to kick off, I'm going to hit you first, and I'm going to hit you real fucking hard. I'm going to hit you with everything I got. My assumption in striking is not that I'm going to get a TKO, not that I'm going to get a technical knockout. It's not going to be one punch and you're done. My assumption is I'm going to hit you and I'm going to elicit a response. And that response is hopefully going to be, knockout, maybe. Or at very, that maybe you have to cover up and you have to just sacrifice your balance or your guard or your ability to strike for a second. Which case I'm going to move in or I'm going to move out. So I'm either going to get the fuck out of dodge, exit the funnel completely, run away. Or I'm going to go straight in, I'm going to look for a clinch. If I get a clinch, I'm going to either transition to a better clinch where I can control your movement and balance, but you can't affect mine. Or I'm going to have to, get the clinch broken and just use, if I get a good clinch straight away, I'll take you down straight away. If I don't get a good clinch straight away, I'm going to transition to a better clinch, which might mean releasing one hand to hit you a few times and then grabbing again, or repositioning my body, okay? From the clinch then to the ground, well, I want to land you in such a way that I'm, if not upright, then at least on top. And I want you ideally like on a recovery position, but face down if recovery position fails. From there, then I want to pin and I want to isolate limbs or neck or arm generally, but I'll take whatever the fuck I can get, right? And I'm going to then crank or twist that limb, fold it the wrong way, twist it, whatever it may be, until you physically can't take it and can't move. Or I'm going to look to hit the blood vessels here, to restrict the blood vessels here, to strangle, which is the ideal for KO, okay? So that's the entire funnel. You want to be in the funnel as little as possible, but if you try and like high speed through de-escalation, it can fail. And there's a whole host of things that can go wrong. And sometimes you just hit in the middle of the funnel. Like if you're not aware of what's going on, a clinch can be made or a strike can be made on you, and you don't have the ability to to preemptive strike and to do all that other good stuff. So you're now, you're in the funnel somewhere you don't particularly want to be. So that's the funnel anyway. That's the kind of overview, and we're going to train every element of that funnel as we go along. And we're going to look at what we call force multipliers, which is a weapon, which is going to either increase my range or increase my striking capabilities, or give me an extra limb to crank, twist, balance, break, lock, choke, etc. That's the game, guys.